Long ago, before kings and temples, there was a man named Jacob. Jacob was the younger of Isaac and Rebekah's twin sons. The other twin was Esau, who Jacob was born holding tightly to his heel. When Rebekah was pregnant with them, God told her that she will give birth to two nations that will be divided, one stronger than the other, and the older offspring serving the younger. Jacob went on to steal his twin brother's birthright in exchange for a meal, and with the assistance of his mother Rebekah, deceived his father Isaac into giving him the blessing intended for his brother. Broken and furious, Esau vowed to kill his brother, so Jacob ran. As a result of his deception, he was forced to flee to Haran to live with his mother Rebekah's brother Laban. Jacob was a man on the run from his past and his brother, but one night beside a lonely river, everything changed. For years he lived far away, building a life, his family, and his wealth. But he knew that he couldn't run forever. Decades later, at the end of his time with Laban, God instructed Jacob to return to the land of his father Isaac. Jacob sent messengers ahead to inform his brother Esau of his planned return, that he may find favor in his sight. Esau instead embarked on a journey to meet him, with 400 men. When Jacob heard, he was terrified. He divided his people, sent gifts ahead to calm his brother, moved his wives and children across the river for safety. But that night, beside a lonely river, he had an encounter. Out of nowhere, a man attacked him. All night they fought, grappling in the dust, neither one giving in. The figure wrestled with him until dawn, though he did not prevail over Jacob. This wasn't just a physical battle. This was spiritual. Jacob had been wrestling his whole life, with others, with guilt, with his identity. And now he was wrestling with someone greater. As the first light of morning broke, the mysterious man touched Jacob's hip and dislocated it instantly. But Jacob still wouldn't let go. "I won't let you go unless you bless me," he said. The man asked, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he replied. And then came the turning point. The man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans, and have overcome." And just like that, Jacob knew. He had been wrestling with God himself. Jacob walked away limping, but also transformed. He was no longer the deceiver, no longer running. He was Israel now, one who wrestles with God. Jacob named the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered." And as he faced Esau that morning, he bowed low, not as a coward, but as a changed man. To his surprise, Esau ran and embraced him, not with anger, but with tears. Sometimes the biggest battles happen in the quiet of night. They aren't about fists, they're about identity, fear, faith. Jacob's story started with deception, but culminated into evidences of God's hand at work. His story is for anyone who's ever wrestled with who they are or who they were. Sometimes before you can move forward, you have to face the fight within. And the good news is that God's not afraid to meet you wherever you are. Even if it takes a long night, even if you walk away limping. Jacob met God by the river and walked away changed forever. You can too.